Hello, Internet. Welcome to the prediction video of WrestleMania Night 2. Historically speaking, this is the biggest event that WWE puts on. Not just WrestleMania, but specifically Night 2. So, without further ado, as they say, we're going to get right into this with a... Now, before we get right into this, I am going to preface this by saying I used the Wikipedia article to get the match listing and the order I am going in. I do not necessarily know if these are all in order, but I do think there is some good possibility that there is some correct order here. And we are opening with the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. Now, I actually think that Io Sky should be taking the win here. Not that Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair isn't deserving, because they are both very deserving contenders and former champions. Unless I'm just stupid, and, you know, I am. I don't want this idea that Io Sky was given the championship just to lose it. She beat Rhea Ripley, and then, we just did it to make a triple threat because we didn't want Rhea or Belair to take a loss at Mania, which is possible. That is a very real possibility, but that just feels short-sighted on Io's booking. So I'm going to say that Io actually gets the win here. Maybe a little bit of dastardly deed here. Takes advantage of a Rhea Ripley, Belair, some kind of clash, and Io sneaks a win in. But yeah, Io retains her World Heavyweight Championship. The next match, the Judgment Days, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. The first thing I want to say is I do think it's absolute shame that Lyra isn't in a singles match. But at least she's on the card, unlike Chelsea Green, who should be on the card, and at least as of today, before SmackDown, is not. WWE might find a way to change that tonight, but I digress. I think Liv and Raquel are going to win here. I don't think Bayley and Lyra are winning. I feel like both of those two have stuff going on after Mania, and they don't need the tag titles wrapped up in that. Liv and Raquel are just going to... I'm not going to say they're going to squash their way through this, because I do think it's going to be a nice competitive match. It kind of has to be, because Lyra really needs to showcase being the Women's Intercontinental Champion. But Liv and Raquel get the win and move on. The next match, which, in my opinion, it has the potential to be a really good match, but a lot of people are going to disagree with me because of the contenders in it. AJ Styles taking on Logan Paul. I can see a world that WWE has Logan Paul go over AJ Styles. But this is my video. I don't want Logan Paul to beat AJ Styles. I think Styles deserves one more shot at the top of the card. So I'm going to give the win to AJ Styles. I'm probably wrong on that, but yeah, AJ Styles is going to beat Logan Paul. And if for no other reason, Logan Paul has that boxing thing coming up soon as well, so he's going to take time off. It doesn't necessarily make sense to have AJ Styles beat him, or Logan Paul win, if Styles is going to be gone. Logan Paul is going to be gone. Wow, I can't talk today. The next match, and this is probably the only thing that isn't on the Wikipedia article because it's not confirmed, but we know Randy Orton is going to have a match. I put Randy on night 2 because it evens out the matches for both shows. And the rumor I've heard is they're now going to do an open challenge at WrestleMania. If that's the case, there's a couple options. I still think that a Randy Orton-Nick Aldis match could be on the cards. But if they do an open challenge, you have a couple options. Obviously, Nick Aldis could potentially come out. You have Omos, who who was called back by WWE and then done nothing with. So you could do Randy Orton, Omos. You have a potential returning Aleister Black. You have a potential returning Miro or Rusev. So it's not like you could have a one-off appearance by Matt Cardona. You have lots of options of who could answer an open challenge from Randy Orton. But I just don't think Randy's going to lose. I mean, that's just that. Unless, there is a longer story to be told, I'm going to say whoever answers the open challenge is losing to Randy Orton. If it is Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton is going to win. I don't really think that there's a good story to be told with Randy Orton losing. The next match, I think, the next two matches I'm going to talk about are the potential to steal the entire show on both nights. I would have put them on separate nights myself. But the first one, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Braun Breaker defends against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. There was rumors that Finn Balor was getting ready to get a big singles push, and I think it starts at WrestleMania. The advantage of a fatal four-way, Braun Breaker doesn't have to take the pin and lose the belt. Finn can pin Dominic Mysterio, which will cause some dissension in the Judgment Day, and get Finn out, start that singles run. That just seems to be, to me, the best way to handle this match. Penta gets on Mania. He gets to show off, but he doesn't take a loss. Braun Breaker is going to lose that Intercontinental title, but not be the one to take the pin. And I think Braun is probably going to start moving up towards maybe even the World Heavyweight Championship soon. So it's probably a good idea to get that IC title off him. The next match, we have the Street Fight. I think they're calling it the Sin City Street Fight or whatever, but it's Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Man, of these two, both guys I do feel like need a win, but I think McIntyre needs it more. He's gotten a couple wins, but they've always come with a caveat. Drew needs, and maybe I'm just wrong, maybe I'm just too much of a fanboy, but I do think Drew McIntyre needs a win, a definitive, like, hey, I've got the upper hand win. And I do think that a street fight really, really benefits Drew McIntyre and giving him that win he needs. The last match, the main event of night 2, the main event of the entirety in totality of WrestleMania. The WWE Championship on the line. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. A lot can be said about Cody Rhodes being the guy and doing this and doing that. I really think that Cody Rhodes is losing to John Cena. It's not that Cody has been a bad champion. He's been a good champion. Some of his early stuff been a little predictable, not getting as many title matches in as we wanted, as he did some stuff with the Bloodline. But I do think that John Cena is getting number 17 at night 2 of WrestleMania. And maybe selfishly because here in like a month, I'm going to SmackDown and Cena is advertised, and I want nothing more than to see heel John Cena facing off against Randy Orton, setting up for a world title match. Now, obviously, I could be completely wrong with all of this, and this is your opportunity in the comments to let me know who you think is going to win. Let me know how wrong I am, because Lord knows I'm probably really off on this one. I'm much better calling the match as the night goes on and using the pacing of the card. But that's all I have time for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!